Yeah! Ah! Stupid horse! I'll chop your head off! Who is this thickhead?
Tommy Vercetti. You remember me.
Excuse me, I'm a little anxious. Never trust a goddamn horse!
Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got another crazy current events video for you guys. So just a few days ago, I did a video about how the Chinese government was actually trying to basically force its video game restrictions onto Hong Kong, and now there's more restrictions that they're trying to impose on the mainland, and these restrictions are just as ridiculous. So right here, look at the title, China bans violent or vulgar cartoons and anime as it cracks down on the entertainment industry continues. In the latest sign of China's crackdown on the country's entertainment industry, Chinese authorities announced a ban on violent, vulgar, and bloody children's TV shows on Friday and sparked an uproar among social media users when a popular anime show was censored from streaming services. Now, this is from Business Insider. I'll link this down below. But the thing is, though, when I read this first paragraph, I was like, huh? Like, I was just confused because it says violent, vulgar, and bloody children's TV shows. What? Violent, vulgar, and bloody children's TV shows. You can't have something violent, vulgar, and bloody and that be a TV show. They're basically an oxymoron to each other. Now look, I understand there are some cartoons that, you know, are meant for kids and teenagers that have some action. Like, for instance, I could think of one would be Dragon Ball Z, which is, you know, mostly a kids and teenagers show, but does have some action in it. But it's definitely not, like, brutal or, like, really violent or vulgar. But this makes no sense to me. Kids' shows aren't violent, vulgar, and bloody. The regulation applied to network shows and those hosted on streaming networks. After the ban was announced, the popular Japanese anime series Ultraman Tiga was censored from the Chinese streaming services, much to the anger of Chinese fans. Now, I'm not sure what this anime is. I tried to Google a little bit about it earlier, but I don't understand it. It's something that's, you know, after humans stop existing. It's something that takes place thousands of years in the future. But basically what I saw from when I typed up this anime, I didn't see anything violent, vulgar, you know, bloody. I don't know exactly, you know, what they were talking about with that. And it says, though many posts about the show's ban have now been deleted, you know, those, you know, correction here, Business Insider, the posts about the show's ban haven't been deleted. They've been censored. Because people don't just randomly delete comments like that. The hashtag about the show's removal was viewed 84 million times, with people complaining about losing a staple of their childhood, according to CNN. The show aired from 1996 to 1997 and includes 5 spin-off movies. So, the government is going through with banning, you know, anime, cartoons that they don't like. Not only that, I also read another article that they're now banning comic books as well that they don't like. And so this is going around all over the internet as well as in China, and the government is desperate to remove this stuff. So now they're censoring posts about this that are getting a lot of views. The hashtag has 84 million views. The content of broadcast should be healthy and progressive and should promote truth, good, and beauty in cartoons, a statement from the National Radio and Television Administration said. The regulatory body also said that children were the primary audience for cartoons and that streaming services should set up children's channels with child-appropriate content with shows that promote healthy development among young people. My God, where do I start with this? Okay, first of all, it says it should be healthy and progressive and should promote truth, good, and beauty in cartoons. When I hear the Chinese government making a statement like that, do you know what basically is going through my mind? What's going through my mind is that if this is not propaganda, if this is not something that basically fits the government's agenda, then this is to be banned. If this is entertainment and does not help the government spread their message in any kind of way, then this is to be banned. If this doesn't promote the government's propaganda, then it is to be banned. That's basically what that statement should be saying in there. That's just basically a nice way of saying that they're banning the stuff basically to spread around propaganda. So anything they don't like, they're going to be banning. And now it says that the streaming services should set up children's channels with child-appropriate content with shows that promote healthy development among young people. But the problem is that these streaming services already have that. They already have that. They're just using this as an excuse in order to justify banning these programs. These streaming services, they have basically like age restrictions. So parents can log into their accounts and they can set up age restrictions so that when their kids go on the streaming services, that they won't be able to look up violent TV shows or brutal TV shows or anything like that. They'll only be able to look up kids content. These streaming services rate exactly what's on it. Everyone rates what the movie and TV show and anime is on there. Everybody rates it. They're acting like it's not rated when it is. Television ratings, television and movie ratings are some of the most regulated things. Companies keep a very close eye on that because they don't want to say that something is for everyone, but then it turns out that it's not, because then they could be sued for something like that. So if they said it's something's for teenagers, but it turns out that that thing is actually much more violent than they anticipated, they could be sued for that. So companies are very careful with their rating system. So I don't know exactly what they're talking about here. The Chinese government has implemented a far-reaching crackdown on the entertainment industry, including prohibiting children from playing video games for more than 3 hours a week. We discussed this a few days ago. Discouraging broadcasters from casting effeminate men on TV shows and suspending K-pop fan accounts on social media. The government also erased an enormously popular actress from Chinese social media and deleted her movies from streaming services without explaining why. In the other article, it said last month, Zhao Wei, one of China's most popular actors, was mysteriously erased from China's internet in a single evening with her Weibo page taken down and movies she starred in pulled from streaming sites. Hashtags links to discussion about Zhao were also censored. No response there. Basically complete censorship of an actor and her work overnight. The heightened incursions into the entertainment industry are mostly focused on promoting a specific idea of morality within film and TV. This isn't the first time that a Chinese authority has tried to discourage the viewing of certain children's TV shows due to violence. In April, the Jiangsu Consumer Council announced that 21 children's cartoons, including Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures and My Little Pony, weren't appropriate for kids. What? That those aren't appropriate for kids? Those are kids' shows. The state-run newspaper, the Global Times, hinted that half of the cartoons referenced in the investigation had violent criminal elements to varying degrees, including beatings, arsons, and intimidation. What? And they're having those My Little Pony and Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures in the same category as including beatings, arson, and intimidation? What? Seriously? How stupid and ridiculous is this? Oh my God, this is so dumb. And I'll tell you something. The problem is that in recent decades, cartoons, there have been much more cartoons made for adults. But the issue is that for some reason, a lot of adults think that cartoons mean that they're for kids. Cartoons, while they kind of, I guess, started out for kids when they were first made, there's a lot of cartoons that are pretty much adult-themed. I mean, look at Family Guy. Family Guy is pretty much, that is an adult show. That's an adult cartoon. So is American Dad. So is South Park. So there is plenty of shows that are adult-themed, and yet there are cartoons. Now, anime, people that don't understand anime, and I'm not even a major anime fan myself. I watch some anime, but there is all different kinds of anime. Like, there is so many different styles of anime. Like, there's just so many different types of it. There's some anime that's kind of themed for kids, but then there's other anime that is really violent and really brutal. But regardless of that, it's not the government's job to regulate that. It's not the government's job to tell people that they can't watch that. I understand there needs to be ratings, sure, but nothing should be banned. TV shows shouldn't be banned. It's not the government's. That's not the government's job to tell people what they can and can't watch. And the thing is, though, when these violent cartoons that the Chinese government is talking about, these violent so-called anime the government is talking about, these anime and these cartoons were made specifically for adults. But here's the thing. This ban, from what I'm reading, from what I see here, this ban doesn't just apply to kids, because they constantly keep saying this isn't appropriate for kids. They're constantly saying we want to have a positive message, all this other, nonsense propaganda. But then this is also banned for adults. So even if you're a grown adult, you are not allowed to watch this. So this is pretty much a ban for everyone. So the Chinese government is saying, we're banning this so that kids don't see this. But what about adults? What about people that don't even have kids that want to watch this type of stuff? Don't even have kids in the house? Then it's banned for them as well. And for example, I'll talk about for a minute my favorite anime. I watch some anime. Usually when I watch anime, I do like watching like historical kind of anime. You know, that's what I typically like watching. You know, I don't really, typically usually like the magic stuff, or the robot stuff. But I do like typically historical anime, like 91 Days, which was a mafia anime. I liked that one a lot. I liked Moriarty the Patriot, which was in Victorian era London, with Sherlock Holmes. I liked, my favorite anime of all was Golden Kamuy, which takes place in Hokkaido in Japan, and it takes place in the aftermath of the Russo-Japanese War. And there's some flashbacks to the Russo-Japanese War in that show. And that show is, that show is funny. It has laughs in it. But that show is also violent at times. That show is very much not a kid's show. It has some pretty brutal moments in it. It's my favorite anime. But the point that I'm making is that this anime was not designed for kids. This was designed for, older teenagers and young adults and basically everyone above that age. That is what that was designed for. It was not made for kids, young kids to watch especially. So government, Chinese government here in this case, just using this as a propaganda, saying kids are going to watch this stuff. They're basically implying that anything that's animated is automatically directed at kids when this stuff is not directed at kids. This type of stuff, the bloody cartoons and anime, these are directed towards adults because there's really no such thing as a bloody, violent, vulgar cartoon for kids. It doesn't exist. So thank you guys for watching. This is ridiculous. And the thing is, though, nothing's going to come out of this, unfortunately. Nothing is. YouTube is also banned in China. Everything is, anything the government doesn't like is banned. Video games are, so many games are banned. Now, anime and cartoons and comic books are banned. I don't know what else they can ban. They're going to pretty much ban everything at this point. That is how ridiculous the Chinese government's censorship is. And it's just disgusting and unfortunate that the Western media does not report on this enough. So, typically, I don't like talking about politics and stuff like that, but this is a gaming channel. I play video games and I try to, bring everyone together. But the problem is that this stuff is something that everyone can agree on. This is basically a violation of human rights. This is not the government's position to basically regulate what kind of cartoons people can watch or what kind of animes they can watch. And any kind of criticism the Chinese government has had has been erased. So all those posts online on the Chinese internet, all those posts and, and I'm sure there was also a petition, all those posts and petitions and all that stuff has been censored. It's all been deleted. So, and I'm sure some people also deleted their posts because they're scared of getting into trouble. But this is an example of just how bad the censorship is in China. You don't really hear much about this on TV, but this is how bad this is. Imagine this if this was you. Imagine how bad that would be. The government telling you can only play video games for 1 hour a day, telling you can only play specific video games, telling you what websites you can and can't go to, telling you what TV shows you can and can't watch. This is not going to end. This is just a disgusting violation of people's rights. But thank you guys for watching. I just get really annoyed when I personally read stuff like this. I don't think that it's the government's job. I'm sorry that I keep repeating that stuff, but it just really personally annoys me. So if you guys enjoyed the video, do drop a like. Let me know what you think of this. It's so ridiculous that they're gonna even throw Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures and My Little Pony into the same category as beatings, arson, and intimidation. How stupid is that? Absolute nonsense. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.